Yo guys, what's going on? I am George and this is You Wanna Watch. Welcome back to the shop and welcome back to another project. Today we're going to be cleaning up my little collection of alligator wrenches that I picked up on eBay. I say without any further ado, we jump right into it. Let's go. Alrighty guys, well let's get a good look at these before we start cleaning them up. This is that lot that I bought off of eBay. We've got a very fantastic representation of different companies out there that were doing these. We've got Williams, we've got Whitman and Barnes, we've got Billings, we've got Hawkeye, we even have Never Slip. This is actually a farrier's tool. This is a caulk tool. I didn't know that until Mr. Kurt Davis said it in the comment section. So I did a little bit of research on it. The Never Slip tool manufacturing company is out of New Brunswick, New Jersey. They date somewhere between 1875 and 1897. I was getting conflicting years, so I couldn't really tell. But that's an awesome tool in itself. I don't have any of the thread-in caulks. The only ones that I have are the ones that you would set in by hand from Diamond Caulk. But nonetheless, that's an awesome little tool right here. Roebling and Sons, which I thought was absolutely awesome. I didn't know this until I started doing a little more info. But the Roebling and Sons trademarked the name Alligator. I happen to have a representation right here, Roebling and Sons. But they are the ones that trademarked the name Alligator. So that's pretty cool. And they're out of Jersey as well. I believe the patent was 1901 for the Alligator. They're also called goat wrenches, bulldogs, or always ready wrenches. People just make up whatever names they want for them. But early manufacturers were, like I said, Whitman and Barnes, Elgin, Vaughn, Hawkeye, Roebling, Kilbourne and Bishop, American Saw Company, but almost all the tool companies were doing it too. As you see, Williams, Billings, I've seen Bonnie's. So that's just a little bit of the history on there. Let me grab one of these and I will show you basically what they're used for and how awesome they are. So give me a minute, I'll get reset up for that. Alrighty guys, I got a lag bolt set in this hunk of wood here with a square nut on there. Let me get this thing threaded on there. And you'll see how nice that fits in there. See that? You got one complete flat side and one point. There's all the grip that you need. They will not slip at all. They lock right in. These things are absolutely fantastic to use. I can't go anymore on that one. That's as tight as I can get that. But that's basically what these are for. It's for grabbing and holding square nuts. If I could just remember to put the teeth on the right side, I'd be all right. And that's it. So these things would be fantastic for any type of machinery that still has square nuts on there and stuff like that. So that's that. I'm gonna get this out of here. I'm sure I will never get that lag or that carriage bolt out of there again. Whew. Oh well. It'll be my permanent little demonstration. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do, this one, and this one, I'm not going to throw in the deoxy, but all the smaller ones I will, because these are rusty, stuff like that, but these three larger ones will clean up absolutely fine. So I say we start taking this stuff over to the wire wheel. We'll start cleaning it up and we'll get it soaking. Let's go. Alright guys, well, you've seen this pan before. We're going to throw all of the smaller wrenches in here with the deoxy, and we will get these a-boiling away. I do have a little bit of used deoxy left over here that's not frozen. This stuff shaking up a little bit. Alright, that container is empty. There we go. We're going to throw this on the wood stove and get it warmed up. This stuff's still frozen. Alright, so we got the little wrenches soaking into deoxy. These I want to throw on the 1x30, get them cleaned up looking the best we can. These are definitely going to be some wall hangers, and yeah, I just want to make them look good. So let's head over to the 1x30. We'll start working on these. Alright, first thing we're going to do is throw it on the 1x30. This is a used 80 grit, I believe it is. It's real worn, so I think this will work for us, because this wrench definitely needs some love. Got a lot of pitting here on the jaws, so let's jump into that. Alrighty, well, these cleaned up fantastic. I'm quite happy with this. I'm leaving them just as is with this batch. These three are going to be displays. The others will too, but I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to take the patina off this wrench. That looks absolutely fantastic the way it is. The same with the Williams. All we did was clean up the edge. That is it. We didn't do any of the forge marks. They're still on there. This wrench is super clean, and I'm really happy to have it. This little never slip, we threw it on the 1x30. She's really clean now. There still is patina on there. The only thing we needed to do was get the forge mark off the sides. That was really aggressive, and it didn't feel good in the hand. So now it's nice and silky smooth. The whole thing is. What I think I'm going to do is spray a lacquer on these to preserve them. Try and keep them the way they are now, and we'll be done with these three. We're still waiting on the others to do their soak, so we can spend some time on these. Let me get set up for that. Alright, so I got them set up here. We're just going to go over them with a quick coat. I don't want anything flash resting on me. I don't think that they will, but like I said, I just want a real quick little lacquer coat on there just to preserve. We'll let that dry, flip them over, and we'll do the other side. Well, these are out of the deoxy and they are rinsed off. Get a fairly good look at them, see what they're going to need. Well, they didn't turn out too bad, to be honest with you. They all need work, don't get me wrong. These are still absolutely hideous. But we are going to throw them on the wire wheel, see if we can't get them cleaned up a little bit more, and we'll see what we got after that. So let's head back to the wire wheel. Alrighty guys, well with these two right here, they are so pitted up, there's nothing that I can do with them other than I'm going to flap disc them down and get them as nice as I can. I've got them screwed down to the table, so hopefully they don't go flying all over the place, but well, let's just see what happens. Alrighty, got 3 more left. These are the ones that you see me over there on the 1x30. These are going to get blued. There's only one of them that I could not save. It's this one right here. The pitting is just way too bad on there. So I think this one will be left for another day. I'll throw it in the to be restored pile and we'll get to it someday. So let me start bluing on these, and we are almost done. I think they came out absolutely fantastic. Like I said, this is the only one that didn't come out. And I think I will eventually get to this. This is a pretty cool one. It's pretty substantial. But yeah, those are some really nasty pits in there, so that's a shame. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 of them done. Oh, I forgot about this little guy over here. 10. That's how I wanted the bigger one to come out, but just not happening. And there that is. I guess what I'll do is start putting these on the wall. So let's get ready for that. Go. Alrighty guys, well we are all done with the alligator wrench cleanup. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. That's it for this one guys. Like always, stay safe, be safe, and we will see you next week with another. Bye.